Two words, powerful and gripping. Well, I can't wait for day after tomorrow as this is going to be released on MX Player. MX Player is platform ne Indian audiences acclaimed filmmaker Prakash Jha to bring you MX original series Ashram, releasing on the 28th of August 2020. That is day after tomorrow. Well, ये प्लेटफॉर्म बिल्कुल फ्री है और पिछले कुछ महीनों में बैक टू बैक शोज पेश किए हैं और हर एक शो अच्छा बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला है क्योंकि द कंटेंट हैज बीन ब्रिलियंट। इस सक्सेस और फैंटास्टिक कंटेंट के पीछे जिनका हाथ है उन्हें इस वर्चुअल स्पेस पर बुलाना चाहूंगा। गिव्स मी इमेंस प्लेजर टू वेलकम द चीफ कंटेंट ऑफिसर फॉर MX Player, मिस्टर गौतम तलवार।
Thank you, Sachin. Here today. Am I audible?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here and a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Sachin.
Gautam,
Yeah.
Before I have a question because, you got the perfect recipe for a hit with this one. You got an ace director, an ensemble cast of power-packed performers, and what looks like a gripping storyline. Can you take us through the journey of Ashram?
Sure. At MX, when we have such a large audience base, with over 200 million active users monthly, you need to make sure that your offering spans multiple genres and multiple narratives. We also understand that serving such a large audience means catering to many moods, many need states. And hence we try really hard and our best to deliver our brand promise, which is really everytainment to our audience. Ashram, I think, is one of our boldest steps in that direction. The journey of Ashram actually started about 2.5 years ago. With me and my team, we're devising our content strategy. We're not a very old platform. We're not even 2 years old yet. So we started really working hard before that. And we believe that a story set in this world would really, really appeal to our audiences. We wanted to mirror the realism that exists in our society and bring to light the kind of ecosystem that is built when people place their faith in this, they place their unflinching faith into criminals, right? In the garb of self-proclaimed godmen. To bring alive this particular vision for this series, we of course have the maestro himself, the director par excellence, Prakash Jha, to really take this mantle and give it the vision that it really needed. We have an ensemble, brilliant cast and crew that was part of this series. Most of the actors, they've just performed absolutely brilliantly. Be it Aditi, Anupriya, Tridha, Chandan, Darshan, Vikram, Adyan, Rajiv, Tushar, Sachin. It just goes on and on. I'm just saying that they're just brilliant in the work that they've actually put behind each of their characters, in portraying their characters to their fullest. And of course, what do you say about Bobby Deol? He's definitely raised curiosity around the country as Kashipur Wale, Baba Nirala. And we're just delighted the way this series has actually panned out. I think a long time back, we contacted Habib, and Habib Faisal wrote this story with a lot of heart. And then Kuldeep and the writing team actually, worked very hard to give it the color that it has today. And when we first took the show to Prakash Jha, right, it was a learning experience just to watch him work. It's just so brilliant, right? He opened up new tracks, he opened up the characters, he opened up the backstories, the narratives. I think I can't say enough for what Mr. Jha has done to this series. He's just taken it to another level altogether, and we're really grateful for that. We also, I think, pushed the envelope as far as marketing is concerned for this series. Be it the never before digital darshan that we hosted for 24 hours on the MX social handles, the massive PR coverage that we've been getting because of that. I mean, thanks to support to the media present here today. And we have a very, very, very robust 360-degree marketing plan that covers literally all mediums for this series. Let it be print, be outdoor, be television. I think the outdoors are just getting up as we speak today. I think we have outdoors in more than 20 cities in this country. All in all, I just want to thank this entire team who has brought alive this show so beautifully. It's been a fantastic collaboration. So, thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you for giving it your all. and I'm just happy to be here, to be presenting it to you guys on a platform that really we are very, very proud of. I think we are very, very proud of this series. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Back to you, Sachin.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Gautam Talwar. And the young MX player has definitely made an impact. And as Mr. Talwar showered accolades on the cast. There's so much that we want to know from them. We will get them in a very short while. But thank you once again, Mr. Talwar, and wishing you all the best for yet another powerful and to be successful series. And thank you for giving us some mind-blowing content during the lockdown as well. Thank you. Well, it's time now to introduce you to the captain of the ship. सत्याग्रह, राजनीति, अपहरण जैसी इंटेंस फिल्में डायरेक्ट कर चुके हैं और अब एक पावरफुल सैटिरिकल ड्रामा लेकर आ रहे हैं एमएक्स ओरिजिनल सीरीज आश्रम, जो 28 अगस्त यानी परसों के दिन एमएक्स प्लेयर पर आप देख सकते हैं। प्रशंसित फिल्म मेकर, लेखक, अभिनेता प्रकाश जी ने हमेशा सोशली रेलेवेंट टॉपिक्स चुने हैं और कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स पेश किए हैं जिसे बहुत कम लोगों ने छूने की कोशिश की है। ये जो वेब सीरीज है वो एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक पर है, सेल्फ प्रोक्लेम लीडर्स पर लाखों करोड़ों लोगों की अंधश्रद्धा। ऐसे अजीब और सेंसिटिव टॉपिक को एक्सप्लोर करना आसान काम नहीं है और ये सच है कि ऐसे टॉपिक्स को स्क्रीन पर लाने का काम सिर्फ एक शख्स कर सकते हैं, वो है प्रकाश झा। Ladies and gentlemen, gives me immense pleasure to welcome Prakash Jha ji. स्वागत है आपका सर।
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me?
Absolutely, your vibrancy यहाँ तक सर। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका सर। सबसे पहले तो
धन्यवाद एमएक्स प्लेयर का, गौतम का और हमारे इस ड्रीम टीम का, because as a director, as a creator, as a writer, as whatever, we all, the whole team, could have never ever imagined to get such lovely, fantastic actors to be playing, the characters which we thought. It really is a dream team, and thank you all for, giving your best and contributing to the making of this. Chandan Sanyal, Darshan, Vikram, Tushar, Anupriya, Dridha, Sachin, Rajiv, I love you all guys, Parinita, Anurita Jha, I love you all. And those who are not here, where is Adhyan? I have no idea. I saw him before. Oh, Adhyan is right here. Thank you, Adhyan. You all have done such wonderful work. I have enjoyed every bit of it and I have learned so much from you. Thank you all.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Sorry.
बॉबी का नाम नहीं लिया है क्योंकि बॉबी के लिए तो दिल में अलग से जगह है।
हम सबके दिल में है सर, हम सबके दिल में। वेलकम। प्रकाश जी, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा कि डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में आपका स्वागत है। ये पहली बार है कि आपने वेब सीरीज डायरेक्ट की है। फिल्मों से वेब सीरीज का ये सफर कैसा रहा?
सफर फिल्मों को छोड़ा थोड़ी, ये सफर साथ ही चल रहा है दोस्त।
तो ये जो नई राह पकड़ी है वेब सीरीज की साथ साथ,
हाँ, एक और गाड़ी पकड़ ली है, साथ में 3-4 गाड़ियां चलती हैं और इसका बहुत मजा आया, बिकॉज इसमें एक लैटिट्यूड रहता है, जबकि आप हर कैरेक्टर को मान देते हो, हर प्लॉट को वीव करने का मौका मिलता है, हर डिमेंशन को आप देख सकते हो और चीजों को आगे बढ़ा सकते हो। तो मुझे बहुत मजा आया क्योंकि ये चैलेंज था कि टू बी एबल टू सस्टेन नॉट ओनली द इंटरेस्ट बट एंगेज माय ऑडियंस, एंगेज माय व्यूअर टू द मैक्सिमम, एंड इट वाज क्वाइट समथिंग। आई मीन, मुझे तो इस जितने दिन में ये शूट किया उतने दिन में कम से कम 5 फिल्में तो शूट जरूर कर लेता मैं। तो गौतम, आप जरा नोट करके रखिएगा।
काफी मेहनत, काफी मशक्कत और काफी दिन लगे हैं। सो वी डेफिनेटली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू इट। पर सभी जानना चाहते हैं कि आप हमेशा ऐसे सेंसिटिव और स्ट्रॉन्ग टॉपिक्स कैसे ढूंढ लाते हैं और लोगों को इतने बेहतरीन तरीके से पेश भी करते हैं।
मैं कहाँ ढूंढता हूँ, ये ढूंढ के ले आते हैं हमको सब्जेक्ट्स। ये गौतम जी और तेजपाल जी इन्होंने पेश किया। ये बहुत ही एलैबोरेटली डेवलप्ड स्टोरी थी 65 पेजेस की, जो कि बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग थी। मैं पहले रीड में ही मुझे अच्छी लगी। और जिस लेवल पे ये इस आस्था को ट्रीट कर रही थी, मैं धर्म की बात नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि धर्म की बात हमारी सीरीज में है ही नहीं। हम इस पूरी वेब सीरीज के अंदर में लोग सोच रहे हैं कि हम धर्म की बात कर रहे हैं, धर्म के बारे में हम कुछ टिप्पणी कर रहे हैं, वो है ही नहीं। ये तो एक स्मॉल टाइम कॉन मैन की कहानी है जो किस तरह से बाबा के जैसे मस्करेड करता है। लेकिन मुख्य बात यह है कि कैसे हम सारे के सारे लोग विश्वास करते हैं और अपने विश्वास के बल पर इसको अधिकार दे देते हैं कि ये हमारे को एक्सप्लॉइट करे, हमें यूज करे और हमें जिस तरह से चाहे उस तरह से घुमाए। तो उसकी कहानी है, एंड दैट्स हाउ इट हैज वर्कड। अदिति पोहन कहाँ चली गई यार?
Aditi?
Sir, I'm here only. Can you see me?
Ah, now I can see you. Now you've turned the video on. Thank you very much. God bless you. You're looking pretty.
Well,
Yes. So, yes. Go ahead, Sachin.
So मैंने कहा कि शुक्रगुजार हैं टॉपिक्स का कि वो सही शख्स को ढूंढ लेते हैं और जो हम तक ऐसी बेहतरीन स्टोरीज लाते हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। अगर आपकी इजाजत हो तो कास्ट को इस मंच पर बुलाया जाए।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं एक एक करके बुलाता हूं। हमारे मुख्य किरदार हैं बॉबी देवल, जो जिनके बारे में कहा जा रहा है कि कैसे मैंने इनको चुना। तो मुझे एक ऐसा व्यक्ति चाहिए था जिसको देख करके आसानी से आप विश्वास कर सकें और जिसके अंदर क्या चल रहा है आपको पता न चले। तो वो प्रेजेंस और जो पर्सोना है वो बहुत ही अच्छा था इनका, बॉबी देओल का। उसके लिए एक्टर अच्छे हैं ही हैं, इंसान उससे बढ़ के हैं अच्छे, और काम करने में बहुत मजा आया इनके साथ। बॉबी देओल आपके सामने।
वेलकम बॉबी।
बॉबी को स्टेज पे स्वागत करें। बॉबी देओल का साथ दे रही हैं बहुत ही
Yes sir, you may continue.
यस, बॉबी देओल का साथ दे रही हैं बहुत ही खूबसूरत, बहुत ही अच्छी अदा।
So I think there is a network issue.
ने
प्रकाश जी, क्या आपको मेरी आवाज सुन दे रही है? I hope the others are able to hear me, and if you could say hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Prakash ji,
Yes,
yes,
sir, I can hear you. We can hear you.
He's back. Prakash ji?
I was talking about hello.
There is a bit of a lag. Sir, अगर आपकी permission हो तो may I introduce the cast? I think there is a bit of a technical, should we get that sorted? But if I'm audible to the others, you could just give me a thumbs up. Tushar there, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you to the cast. And as Sir said, Bobby Deol, we've also got Aditi Pohankar, Darshan Kumar, Chandan Roy Sanyal, just wave out, Anupriya Goenka, Adhyayan Suman, Vidha Chaudhary, Vikram Kochar, Tushar Pandey, Sachin Shroff, Anurita K. Jha, Rajiv Siddhartha, and last but not the least, Parinita Seth. A rocking welcome to all of you. There's so much been spoken about the performances in this series, and we are looking forward to it. And the trailer looks amazing. You guys have done a brilliant job. I've seen in the trailer, and we cannot wait to watch all of this in action. this Friday, which is day after tomorrow. Wishing you all the best. और अब ये अगर प्रकाश जी भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, sir. I'm just going to check with the backend team as well. If Prakash ji is with us, then we can open the floor for Q&A.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
मैं कह रहा था कि ये सभी एक्टर्स जो हैं वो अपने अकेले के बल पर एक सीरीज जाने के काबिल हैं. मैं तो भाग्यशाली था, मैं इतना फॉर्चुनेट था कि ये सब के सब मुझे मिले और सब ने फुल 100% मुझे दिया है. Thank you all.
Well, thank you so much, sir, and wishing all the best to the entire cast and crew. अब ये मंच मीडिया Q&A के लिए तैयार है. I hope आपके सवाल आपने भेजे हैं और भेजते रहिएगा. आपको फॉर्मेट तो पता है. पहले किससे पूछना है, किससे पूछना चाहेंगे सवाल, अब जो पूरी कास्ट इंट्रोड्यूस हो चुकी है यहाँ पर. फिर आपका नाम, आपके पब्लिकेशन का नाम, एंड देन आपका सवाल. So we shall begin because कई सारे सवाल ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं. सबसे पहला सवाल बॉबी के लिए है. And the question is, Bobby, that's a fantastic new look for you. It's shocked all of us. What convinced you to do it?
किसने पूछा है ये?
नाम नहीं बताया सर. मैंने रिक्वेस्ट की थी नाम भेजने के लिए, पर ये विदाउट नेम आया है. So इसीलिए I will read it as is. जैसा है मैं वैसे ही I'll read it out with the name of the person who sent it as well. Whenever I get. Bobby, over to you.
Can you ask the question again?
It's a fantastic new look for you. It shocked all of us. What convinced you to do it?
Well, Prakash ji, I mean, I've been trying to work with him since 25 years. And when I got to know that when he called and said he wants to meet up with me in the office, I was like on top of the world, feeling great that, finally I'm getting that chance to work with him. And when I went to his office, I didn't even know what the script was till he narrated the idea. And when he narrated the idea, I was like, okay. Because I could have never imagined myself in this character. But as an actor, you keep imagining yourself doing different kinds of characters. And here it was in front of me, he was giving me a chance to play a character which has such negative shades, which is such an interesting character. So that was a moment when I realized that obviously he has faith in me. That's why he's called me for this role. And I was like, yes, Prakash ji, I'm on. There's no looking back now.
And you've done 100% justice to the role and the character. Wishing you all the best. We've got the next question for Gautam Talwar from Chayanika from Social Samosa. Pardon me for my French, if in case I happen to mispronounce the name, but from Chayanika from Social Samosa. Production houses are now turning to OTT platforms for film releases. Do you think this change in approach will continue after the theaters resume function? And what other kind of changes do you foresee in the role that the OTT content space plays for the Indian market?
I don't think. I think it's a very weird times that we all live in. So it'll be very difficult
Wi-Fi is gone.
To state the fact that there is that the films are getting released on OTT. I get that, but I think that once the theaters come alive, I think there will be enough and more. I think there are different stories told for different formats. I think the theatricals for most films will be the way they are. I don't think that's going to change. I think it's a very weird situation that we are in, wherein most of it is happening right now. I think it's a very serious revenue source for theatricals to be just let go of. I think as far as OTT is concerned, I think we will start making our own narratives as far as films are concerned. I think we are also just beginning to figure out what a digital film means. What is the kind of story that you want to tell on the digital medium? What is it? What is the kind of narrative that you really want to tell on the digital medium? So 120 minutes is something that we're looking at for sure. And we're looking at saying that I don't think it's a competition. I just think it's different. I think the narratives will be different. I think the storytelling will be different. I think the kind of stories will be different. So I think, and we have to evolve on our own. I think OTT has to evolve on its own, of its own narrative of 120 minutes. So I think that's where we are headed. So I think most OTT, I think that the fact that OTT is an interactive medium, and I think the future of all entertainment is going to be interactive. I think what's going to be interesting is to see is how OTT looks at feature films and what is the level of interactivity that we could actually build into the system. that could make the movie watching experience itself pretty new and engaging. So I think we have to look at it very differently from just a theatrical release. I think that's where we are headed as far as the OTT is concerned.
Thank you. It definitely has opened up a sea of content and we love to swim in it. So next question is for Darshan, and the question is coming from Divya from High on Persona magazine. The question is, you are playing this role of a cop. Where did you draw your inspiration from? Did you have any other cop movie in mind before playing this role?
Actually, हम रियल लाइफ में बहुत सारे हम फिल्मों से और जो हम रियल लाइफ में देखते रहते हैं, जो हमारे आसपास घटता है, या न्यूज से, जितने भी हम डिफरेंट टाइप के या अलग लेवल के जो लोग हैं हम देखते रहते हैं, तो उनसे इंस्पायर होकर मैंने ये एक कैरेक्टर प्ले किया. मैं सब इंस्पेक्टर उजागर सिंह प्ले कर रहा हूँ, और ये कैरेक्टर काफी, इसके अंदर बहुत सारे लेयर्स हैं. थैंक्स टू प्रकाश जी, जब उन्होंने मुझे बताया था सर ने कि ये कैरेक्टर कुछ ऐसा है कि ये लाइफ में बहुत कुछ अचीव करना चाहता है, और क्योंकि इसकी पूरी फैमिली में सब आईपीएस हैं, इसके फादर डीएसपी हैं, तो इसके अंदर बहुत, और ये किसी कारण से एग्जाम देता है लेकिन वो क्लियर नहीं कर पाता है. तो वो आपको जब आप सीरीज देखेंगे तब समझ में आएगा. तो क्या कि इसमें इतने लेयर्स हैं कि मैं किसी एक से इंस्पायर होकर मैं ये नहीं कर सकता था. तो मैंने अपनी इमेजिनेशन यूज की, और डिफरेंट तरीके के, जैसे मैंने फिल्मों से काफी फिल्में देखी हैं जिसमें लोगों ने इंस्पेक्टर प्ले किया है, या फिर हमारे न्यूज में मैं बहुत सारे, मैंने यूट्यूब से बहुत सारे लोगों के इंटरव्यूज देखे, सो उनसे इंस्पायर होकर. तो ये एक मिक्सचर है, बहुत सारे डिफरेंट लोगों को मिला के मैंने एक कैरेक्टर प्ले किया.
Thank you so much and all the best. See, so much of online world is helping people to actually source out information on characters as well. So all the best for that. And Divya from High on Persona magazine has another question for Chandan. Chandan, you're playing the right hand of Baba Nirala. You're someone who knows all his good and bad deeds. So what special briefings did Prakash sir give you for this character?
Hi everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So like अभी दर्शन जैसे बोल रहे थे कि कैसे एक चरित्र को या पात्र को बांधने के लिए वो मतलब रियल लाइफ से प्रभावित होते हैं. मेरे लिए जो है, हमेशा जो मैं चरित्र तैयार करता हूँ, मेरे लिए सिर्फ दो चीज़ें होती हैं. एक जो मुझे मेरा निर्देशक जो रंग देता है, और फिर मैं अपने इमेजिनेशन से उसको तैयार करने की कोशिश करता हूँ. तो प्रकाश जी ने मुझे जो ब्रीफ दी थी, उन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि एक तो बहुत बोलते थे कि कम करो, ज़्यादा कभी मत करना. तो मुझे, हालांकि मेरे दूसरे एक्टर ने गालियाँ भी देते थे सेट पे कि मैं कुछ ज़्यादा ही कम करने लगता था, तो उन्होंने मुझे सिर्फ एक ही वो दिया था कि कम करना है हमेशा, ये सिनेमा है, इसमें कभी भी ज़्यादा नहीं करने का. तो और फिर बाकी वो बस उनके हाथ पकड़ के मैं चलता रहा, और साथ में बॉबी देओल थे, उनके साथ मेरे सारे रोल तो आधा तो उनको याद रहता था, तो वो जो बोलते थे मैं उनसे सुन के करता था. So it was a great team. Prakash ji, Bobby Deol, actually most of the time it was just between these two people, and it was an honor and a great opportunity to be working with these two greats.
Thank you so much Chandan and all the best. तुमसे मुझे एक सीख मिली है कि कम करो, तो मैं थोड़ा कम बोलूंगा और डायरेक्टली अगले सवाल पे जंप करूंगा. The question is for Anupriya Goenka, and this is from Keyur from cinestan.com. Asking, you've done a lot of bold acts in recent years on the web platform. Do you fear being typecast when it comes to choosing projects from now onwards?
Bold acts. I don't know what you mean by bold acts over here, pretty honestly.
I will have to get to Keyur for that.
I mean, I have no idea what that means. But I would say that if they are bold in terms of the presentation or the intent behind the character, then I think that is a compliment. Typecast, yes, there's always a worry about getting typecast in a certain role, because people start imagining you in a certain way and they think of you for those characters whenever they start to cast. And that does become a worry. But I think in the web space, we are more hopeful because content has become so diversified. We are, experimenting with different content and concepts altogether. And the whole idea for an actor is to be able to push the envelope and, you know, explore different facets amongst oneself. So hopefully, in the web space, that should not really happen. Up till now, I've been offered pretty interesting roles, and I really go by the whole project per se, as to what the concept and the storyline is, who the director is, which are the team of actors that I'm getting to work with. So there are different aspects about a project which kind of excite me, and I take up a job. Like in this one, I'm very glad that Prakash sir gave me the opportunity, because even though it's an intense character again, the soul of the character is sort of chirpy and more, sprightly, which thankfully Prakash sir pointed out to me, honestly speaking. When I read it, I thought of it in a certain way, and I remember the meeting that I had with him. It was about a half an hour brief, and I came back and I called my casting director and I was like, thank you so much. I have rarely had a discussion with the director like that. And I'm doubly more excited now to go back on floor, because he said such important things about how to devise a character, how to take it along. It just not just made it interesting, it also made it a challenge. So, and yeah, I mean, it was all Prakash sir, as everyone is saying. So yeah.
Thank you so much and wish you all the best. And you know what? It takes a strong heart and a strong mind to do bold acts, and we are proud of you for your work that you've contributed. Thank you so much. The next question is for Prakashji from Hitesh from Koimoi. The trailer of Ashram looks very fresh. So does the casting. Tell us something about the casting process and how did it take place?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, so far as Bobby is concerned, as the character developed and as we started thinking, Bobby came to my mind immediately, and I was happy to call him and grateful that he liked it and he accepted the character. But then all the other actors, we sort of like, we did a lot of thinking, and my casting director, Shruti Mahajan, she was instrumental in setting them up for me, and I meeting them up and trying to read the scenes with them, and eventually convincing them and convincing myself for the characters. But I said they're all brilliant actors. As they kept accepting the responsibility, half my job was already done. So it was a great kind of like cast which came to work with me on this series, and the results people will see the day after tomorrow.
We look forward to it. Thank you so much, Prakash ji. And a big shout out going out to Shruti Mahajan for getting in some of the finest talent for this series. And moving on to the next question is to Adhyayan from Hype on Persona team. We are seeing you back on screen after so long. What kept you away from the world of entertainment? And tell us a bit more about your role. Then could you unmute yourself?
Yes, I have.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Could you repeat the question again, please?
The question is, we are seeing you back on screen after so long. What kept you away from the world of entertainment? And tell us a bit more about your role.
I think, subsequently, good afternoon, everyone. Glad being here. I think, of course, the lack of good roles, the lack of good scripts, the lack of good directors, I think in my career kept me away. I started off on a very decent note with Raj 2 with Mahesh Bhatt, which was a successful film. And then I did a critically acclaimed film called Jashan and so on and so forth. I did Heartless, and I did a couple of films that went, unnoticed. And then, I very quickly realized that, unless and until you're not a successful star in this industry, people don't, usually want to associate or want to give you, roles. I must say here that I'm absolutely honored and glad that, Prakash ji gave me this role of Tinka Singh in Ashram. It came at a point where I of course I had sort of slipped into minor depression, and I was of course very upset with things not going accordingly, and it came at a point where I had so much energy and I didn't know what to do. And I know Prakashji's daughter really well, and I went up to her and I said, listen, I want to meet Prakashji. He's making this show, and I just want to go ask him if I can have a role in the show, and I'll always be blessed, and I'll always be grateful and thankful that Prakashji gave me this role. And I've been busy with music here and there, but of course my passion and my life will always be acting and films. And now that the OTT platform has opened up in such a big way. So yeah, I mean, my first show came out, my first debut web series came out February this year with Hina Khan, which came out on MX Player and Hangama Play, which did decently well. But this, of course, is a huge platform for me, a huge break for me. So I'm looking forward. And once again, thank you, Prakashji, for giving me Tinka Singh.
Adyan, thank you so much and wishing you all the best. And we are very proud that you've bounced back, and that too in such a strong manner. Wish you all the best for this one.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
The next question is for Bobby from Team Aaj Tak. It's coming from Nidhi. What inspired you to take this role, and what are your views, Bobby, on such blind beliefs and black magic stuff, as it's also practiced in many parts of India currently?
Well, obviously I've been trying as an actor to do different kinds of roles, different characters, play different shades. And here I was given an offer to play a completely different shade, which I never imagined I would be offered. And especially the way the character has been written, it is so interestingly written. So that made me really get excited about the role. Also because Prakashji, in his whole career, since the time he started, he's always tried to pick up topics which create awareness about the social issues around us, about what's happening in our society. So that also made me think, and I realized from reading the script and as well from hearing it from him that it was so much on track with all that, because there are so many people in this world and in our country who are con men and criminals who take advantage of blind faith. And it really made me think that this is something we'll definitely bring across a message, and people will be more aware of what is around them. So I think that was something which is very exciting as well about the script. And then it's a fiction, so the way the script moves, there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of thrilling elements, there's emotion, there's drama. So it was a mixture of all these elements in one script, and it's so intriguing. And I love to watch something like this. So those are the reasons why I chose to do something like this.
Thank you so much, Bobby, and thank you so much for being a part of the change and creating awareness. Thank you. Moving on to the next question is for Aditi Pohankar from Shravanti, Anand Bazar Patrika. You were very good in She. What prompted you to take up Ashram? How will you define Prakash Jha as a director? Aditi, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. And thank you so much for having me here. Well, I'll begin with Prakash sir, because we had quite a startled beginning in the as he was casting, and the process that went on. I had no idea about the part that I was going to be playing. I had just finished my first series for Netflix, She, which was a very different character compared to what this was. But I didn't dare to ask, because I was waiting to work with Prakash sir for the last, I think, 2 years, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I was always like asking Shruti, and I was messaging sir many a times, which he doesn't really remember now. But I did that. And after She, I thought I probably will get typecast as because it was a very intense role with, many layers to the character, and a very different journey that a woman character has played so far. So compared to what Ashram has of my character, which is a very young, naive, and a very fresh kind of an innocent girl who goes, her journey throughout is through Baba. So of course, Bobby sir is terrific to work with, and I think he's done an excellent job. So mostly my conversations were with Prakash sir, Bobby sir, and my Tushar, who plays my brother. So I think it has been overall a terrific, the whole cold and the Ayodhya shoot and everything else has been such a memorable thing that when I came back to Bombay, I was dying to come back to Bombay. But then when I came back, I was like, oh, damn, I'm missing this now. So yeah, I would really, really thank Prakash sir for this opportunity.
Wishing you all the best for your terrific role and wish you more and more success. Agla sawal, Sandeep from Desi Martini for Prakash Jaji. I had asked a similar kind of question, but maybe a wider perspective to this. Prakash ji, what makes you choose such socially relevant topics, and how do you see cinema?
Well, I don't really look at socially relevant topics. I think I actually look at stories. That the stories generally around me, things which are happening around me, the ways the society is reacting to something, these movements interest me, and I continuously try and understand as to why something is happening the way it is happening. And once the equations become clearer to me, stories begin to emerge and characters begin to form and drama begins to happen. And, the script eventually matures and I tell that story. That they become socially relevant, I leave it to the audience. I leave it to people who view them. I am interested in telling good stories, entertaining and engaging stories. That's it.
थैंक यू सो मच. स्टोरी टेलिंग की स्टोरी भी आपने इतनी बेहतरीन तरीके से कि मुझे लगा कि सुनता ही जाऊं. पर अगला सवाल है फॉर त्रिधा. It comes from Sharmishta from Indulge Express. What's your role, Tridha, and how did you prepare for it, and how was it working with Prakash?
Very good afternoon to everyone. I definitely thank MX player Prakash and the stellar cast that we have for this wonderful opportunity to work with each and every one of you. So Sharmishta, to answer your question, I play the character, her name is Babita. I play one of the primary characters, and every character is very, very important and has like a very, very big contribution to the story. Like it's an ensemble of stellar cast. So I can say that Prakash ji or I know him for 2 years. We were supposed to work on different projects, and he thought about me for this particular one because he thought he needed somebody innocent and who could probably deliver a mature performance. I think you have to look forward to the 28th of August when Ashram releases. You'll see every character has done beautifully, and I'm very, very, very happy to have been a part of Ashram.
All the best, and we cannot wait for day after tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
अगला सवाल है प्रकाश जी के लिए, and it comes from Prathamesh. Publication has been mentioned. Has pseudo spirituality become a money minting business, as highlighted in your web series Ashram? How does one discern the fake from the genuine master seeker, especially in the day and age when spiritual healers, leaders mushroom everywhere?
Well, the master gurus and the seekers, it is difficult to find them. They do not exhibit themselves. They do not live in public, view. They are constantly working and seeking and trying to align themselves with matters which kind of are beyond us. So the ones who are working in public life, ones who are actually bringing disrepute to dharma and our gurus and our great treasure of spiritualism, which we sort of take as our guiding light, they are the ones who are making kind of these forays into exploiting and using and is sort of making use of the faith which in people very innocently put into them. They are quacks, they are criminals. So it's not very difficult to discern them. It's they have they have material kind of around them, and the ones who are really our true gurus and who have connections with the spiritual world, they live a different kind of life, and it's not very difficult to kind of understand who are the ones who are con men and who are conning the society. So that's how it works. And this series is about people who are actually bringing disrepute and defaming and bringing sort of bad name to religion, and are real exploiters, and are creating all kinds of social structures, and delving into really business of kind of spiritualism. This is what this is all about.
Well, thank you, Prakash ji, for sharing your perspective. And the next question is for Bobby, and it comes from Ananya Susti from Beyond Bollywood. हमारे देश में लोग विश्वास करना शुरू करते हैं तो बाढ़ से आ जाती है. Amidst this flooding storm, is there any hope for objectivity to float? Bobby, if you want me to repeat the question, I can.
Can you make it more simpler?
हमारे देश में लोग विश्वास करना शुरू करते हैं, बाढ़ आ जाती है. Basically, this blind belief, and people just follow in, there's a flood. And amidst this flood and storm, is there any hope for objectivity to float?
See, that's the reason why we are part of this web series. It's trying to give you a message and awareness about what's happening in our society. And it is dealing with blind faith. So that's all I can say. I mean, people have to understand from seeing this. People make mistakes in their lives and they learn from that. So blind faith takes you into situations where you make mistakes without knowing. And if you can understand from that and get to see what's happening with yourself in the web series, because web series is based on all what's happening in our society. So I guess that awareness will definitely make a lot of change,
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. And Ananya has another question for Prakash ji. Prakash ji, leave aside fake God men, God women, but what about the divisive, abusive hate agenda that seeps into social media? Can this flooding be checked?
Thankfully, I'm not on social media. I do not subscribe to this, thankfully. But, it's all reflective of our society, our mindset, and the times that we are going through. So, I think, there has to be better education, better understanding, better values incorporated in our lives, better aims, and more awareness. And, what we have lost is, general human compassion, which is what we have lost, which we have become very crude and rude in general life. I would say all of us in our dealings with people. Look at the relationship between a teacher and a student today. Look at the relationship between, friends or family relationship or society relationship. These are all kind of pressures to succeed, the pressures of the market, the pressures to kind of to be able to, surge ahead somehow. There's so much of competition happening around. And it's sad that, we have lost values. We have lost the compassion which we should have about fellow human being and also fellow, animals and nature and everything around us. And if you are asking me, how do we stop this hate messages or hate treatment? I don't really have a solution apart from the fact that I think, we should all work towards it, and we should all keep on kind of like, talking to each other, keep on feeling for each other, keep on, helping each other. Because, I mean, these days, I would talk about myself, like, I ask questions as to, there was this massive pandemic which gripped the country, and hundreds and thousands of laborers were kind of like, forced to move, and in pitiable conditions. And we found ourselves helpless. The pain to do that, but what did we really do about them? So these are, and every single day we come across such situations, and people have just become, no, I mean, they don't react. They don't kind of show the compassion which should be there. So I mean, it's not an easy thing to kind of like answer, but I think being kind, generous, receptive, understanding, to people, to things around oneself, that's what will work. That's what we should all be doing.
Thank you so much, sir. And it was very heartfelt. The change should begin from here, and keep that compassion alive in all of us. Thank you once again, sir. The next question is for Aditi. The person hasn't mentioned his or her name, from which publication they belong to as well. So Aditi, the question is, your faith looks rock solid in Ashram and Baba Nirala. What's your take on the relentless faith people invest in such self-proclaimed leaders?
I would like to say that I have witnessed few of these in my childhood, because there were people around me, and my mother was quite an activist, and we did find people get trapped into this whole Maya Jal, as they call, So I have been watching these people very closely, and the way they attract people to their powers and the things that they can miraculously change for them. So what I feel is that if education has been given more importance, like my mother always said, that education is the only path to spirituality, to success, to humanity, to compassion, to everything. So that's one thing, that if you know it, like we all know, hum sab wahi hai jisne Gita likhi thi, right? That same mind had written the Gita. So we know what we are doing. We know everybody's aware of everything, but just that, like Prakash sir just said, that, there is a need for compassion, and there's a need to get out of the race. So I think with this series, we are sending out a very, very strong message. And through my character, I think you see how innocent people, because this girl is extremely innocent. I fell in love with the girl more than anything else, because as I said, I'd just done some intense character somewhere and come, and, thinking that I was like, okay, now I'm going to be doing something like this, further coming down my lane. But what I saw of this girl was, because I started my career with theater, with a play called Time Boy, which I played a 8-year-old girl, and the innocence that kids have, I got to play and relive that innocence in this girl, in this character. And then how she's brutally, her emotions are brutally like smashed with these kind of guys. And then we all have that same power, we all have that same energy, the divine, which is wanting to leak from within us, So this girl has shown actually the part where you can take over and you can make that change. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say much about the character, but yeah, I mean, being a whistleblower is a very, very courageous thing. And I think courage is what Prakash sir has always stood by, is what I feel, because I've watched all his films, and he himself is really courageous. So I think that's the strong message here, that if you're courageous, you'll never be falling in any trap, because you're not vulnerable then.
I have to compliment you as well, that you're a clear visionary as well. And as you rightly said, padhoge to gadhoge aur badhoge. Thank you so much, Aditi. And moving on to our next question. It is for Vikram Kocher. This is from Keyur from Cinestan.com. What character are you playing? How was it shooting amidst such an ensemble cast?
Hi. First of all, okay, this gives me an opportunity to thank you all. Thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you, my co-actors. And thank you for MX to bring this show to us. And plus, the best thing about this show that this show is going to be available to all for free. So that is one thing that it can reach to the maximum number of people. I play a character of a head constable in the series. I'm along with Ujagar Singh. Ujagar Singh is being played by Darshan. So he's my inspector, and we get into a kind of investigation which is on the Baba. And that's how the character develops. The character name which I'm playing is Sadhu Sharma. And as the name says, the character is very similar to that. It was a lovely experience, and it is something new which I got to explore. So that's what.
Thank you so much, Vikram, and wishing you all the very best. Next question, Prakash ji ke liye from Ankita from Peeping Moon, and the question is, fugitive self-styled godman Nityananda launched the Reserve Bank of Kailasa and presented its official currency called Kailashian dollars on Saturday. This comes before Ashram's release based on a similar subject. Your comments on this?
Well, I mean, you want me to wish well to Kailasha dollars?
Your thoughts on that, Amindi?
Well, if Gautam gets a bunch of them, we can hope something, might trickle down to us.
So yeah, we hope that. Please.
Well, I mean, it's bizarre, I mean, all I can say that it's completely bizarre. The whole aspect of having done what he has done, having gone where he has gone, and now creating the world that he's creating, and the promises that he is making. It's all there in the public domain. I really don't have to comment, and I wish humanity all its best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your views. And yeah, Kailashian dollars does sound very cool, but we don't know how realistic it is. But our next question is for Bobby from Renuka from Bombay Times. Renuka Kashias, a big shout out. Well, Bobby, the question is, there has been a raging debate on nepotism even more after Sushant's death. As someone who is from a film family, how do you perceive the insider-outsider divide? Your son might want to be an actor tomorrow. How do you weigh this debate?
My father is the biggest example of an outsider. My father was a son of a teacher. He wanted to be an actor. He ran away from home and came to Mumbai, struggled for so many years till he got work. But he never gave up, because it's always going to be difficult for an outsider to come into this industry, because he has no one he knows in the industry, and it's always going to be the case. So I think even if my father ran away from home and tried to become a doctor, he would have found it difficult. If he ran away from home and tried to do some other profession, it would have been difficult, because such is life. And I also agree that for a child born in a family from the same profession, it will always be easy for the first step into his professional life. So definitely, yes, my dad gave me the opportunity to become an actor. He made a film for me. But after that, it was my work that spoke for me. I mean, if I was not good enough, people didn't connect with me, they would have not watched my movies. And also, there have been a lot of actors who have been star kids and they never made it. You don't even remember their names. So I think your hard work pays off eventually. And my only advice to all the youngsters trying to get into this industry, or from the outside or from the inside, is that never give up. If you give up, if you keep crying for luck, then you'll never be able to move forward. So work hard, be persistent, be focused, and your work will turn into luck. Because for the actor, it's always a struggle every day. Every day you struggle to get work, to find work. And I think amongst us all today here, I'm sure everybody has been through that phase in their life where they had to struggle to get work. And here they are, sitting with us and doing interview. So I just say that never give up in life. That's what I've learned from my mistakes. I was an insider. I went through a bad phase. People stopped working with me. and kind of gave up in life. And then when I realized one day that what I was doing to myself, when I realized that no matter how powerful your family can be in the industry, they can't help you to move forward. You have to stand on your own two feet and make people notice you. It might take long because even after 3 years of not working, it was a slow process. You know, I never got films easily. I did poster boys. Nothing was moving after that, though people loved my performance in that, and so on. You know, I mean, eventually I never gave up, so I kept doing things, knocking on people's doors, meeting people, and finally things worked for me. So that's what my take is on all this, you know. But I wish everybody the best who's trying to get into this industry because it's a beautiful industry. I love this industry. It is the most awesome industry, but it is a very difficult industry to find work in. So the only mantra is never give up.
Never give up, and your hard work has paid off, and you definitely have carved a niche and got a following. Thank you, Bobby. There's one more question from Renuka from Bombay Times, and she says, related to this, many actors and star kids have had to disable their comments on social media due to this. So your take on online harassment?
You know, I think everybody has the freedom of speech. It's like when I say, the only line I can remember, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. If someone likes something, the other person might not like the same thing. Someone might hate it, someone might love it. So comments come according to that. People have their own opinions, people have their own reasoning behind it. So if you keep, I believe I don't, get into this whole nitty gritty of going into my social media and checking who said what about me, because you'll never always get love and you'll never always get hatred. But I'm so glad that the love I get is much more beyond the hatred I get towards me. So I'm very blessed that the people, my fans, have so much belief and love for me. And I'll always be grateful to that.
We do, and we love you. Thank you so much. Our next question is for Sachin Shroff from Peeping Moon team. Sachin, what prompted you to jump from television to OTT in a star-studded series where often a role can be overshadowed by big names?
It was only Mr. Prakash Jha, Mr. Prakash Jha, Mr. Prakash Jha.
The man with a few words there has said it all. Well, as someone else also said, "Ke kam karo," and that's what he exactly did. Kam bola, jitna bhi bola, pate ka bola. And thank you so much, Sachin. Thank you. Wishing you all the best for your role. Next question is for Prakash Jha. It comes from Narendra Joshi from Nirmal Metro. Question is that many Babas have been proved wrong and they have cheated many people. Have you given any solution for this wrong and blind faith of the people in your series?
Yes, I have made this series for that. Ashram is exactly, is the solution.
So we will find out day after tomorrow what's the solution.
We have to see all seasons to understand.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. And thank you so much, sir. Next question is for Tushar. Tushar, what is they haven't mentioned from whom and the publication. So Tushar, the question is, what's your view on these self-styled leaders who exploit people's faith? Does the fault lie with us for vesting our faith in them?
Well, good morning, everyone. Afternoon, sorry. Well, I think firstly, as Bobby sir also said, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, that's a fundamental right. And everyone is free to say or do whatever they want. So the question lies in people who follow them. And again, the idea is how much are we ready to believe in our own experiences? How much are we ready to believe in the things we observe around and then believe in people? I think somehow deep down, that's what the series is trying to say. It's about your own awareness to things around and not the blind faith. So I think at the end of the day, it's you who make your own decision. And a lot of times we make decisions very late when we go through stuff and we realize this is not the right thing to do. But more or less, the idea is how much we are ready to believe in others and how much we are ready to believe in ourselves, which actually defines where we lie. So that's all I would say to this.
Thank you so much, Tushar. Very important. Yes, self-awareness, as he said. Next question, Prakash ji ke liye hai from RJ Nupur, 94.3 My FM. Sir, आप एक्टिंग बहुत कम करते हैं, पर क्या फ्यूचर में सांड की आंख जैसा दमदार रोल अगर मिला तो करना चाहेंगे?
नहीं, उसके जैसा ही अगर रोल मिलेगा तब तो नहीं करूंगा, उससे अलग मिलेगा तो करूंगा।
अलग और उतना ही दमदार?
एक्चुअली मैंने कर भी लिया है, एक फिल्म अभी कंप्लीट हो गई है, वो अगले महीने बात करेंगे उसके बारे में, क्योंकि अभी बात आश्रम की हो रही है और वो बिल्कुल ही सांड की आंख से अलग रोल है। मुझे एक्टिंग करना अच्छा लगता है, एक नए फॉर्म ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन को सीखना अच्छा लगता है, और ये सारे जितने बढ़िया बढ़िया एक्टर आपके सामने दिख रहे हैं सबने मुझे सिखाया है। तो क्योंकि मैं सबका जूनियर हूँ इसलिए बहुत मजा आया।
हम सब बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे हैं उस आपके रोल के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच एंड ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर दैट सर। अगला सवाल फॉर अध्ययन फ्रॉम रेणुका फ्रॉम बॉम्बे टाइम्स। Adyan, you spoke of slipping into depression because of lack of good work opportunities. What has been your biggest learning lesson, and how important is the awareness on mental health?
I think the most important thing in life is to, to never give up. Hope and faith are two important things that I have held on to in my life, and not getting disconnected from the people who love you, especially your parents, and the few friends that you have in in your life. Not everyone is your friend, and you need to understand. You need to understand that. And with me, slipping into depression was not just about my career. It was it was to do with my personal life as well. A lot of negativity which I got early on, not because of my work, because of my personal relationship, and it was very difficult for me to fight that. And especially in our industry, when people have so many opinions, and when people can just blindly pass judgments, and and when you're weak and when you're very vulnerable in your life, you start believing them. You start believing that you're probably not good enough. You probably don't know your job, and that's the reason why people are not giving you work. And I've been through all that, and I've fought all that, and it's very important in life to you're a human being, and you are going to feel certain emotions, and you are going to feel sad, and you're going to feel low, you're going to feel depressed. But you have to take each day as it comes. You have to wake up every single day, and you have to just go out there, knock on doors, without there was a point where I never thought, I don't know if people know this, but I assisted Prakash ji when I was 17 years old, when I just come back from the New York Film Academy after I'd done my diploma in direction. And he was very kind enough to, give me a job. And he was doing a film called Dil Dosti Etc., which I was a part of. And today I'm sitting here being an actor, in his series. And it's something that I just, can't imagine, because I was coming out, from a place where people weren't giving me work, and I was knocking on doors, and they used to say, "Ha, you're good. Yeah, you're a good actor." Yeah. And that's all they used to say. I did so many auditions. I did so many look tests, and I didn't get the job. And they liked the look test, but they didn't give me the job because they felt I had some sort of negativity with my personal relationships and stuff like that. And you have to fight all that, and I'm just glad that now me doing Ashram is not just ki log bolenge ki acha kiya hai. It's not just that. It has given me this huge boost, this huge confidence that a top director like Prakash Jha has believed in me, and till date I never asked Prakash ji, sir, how ki maine kaisa kiya aisa show mein, and I just shot for him recently, and he said, acha kiya tune show mein, and that is it for me. Someone like Prakash Jha telling me ki I've done a decent job in his show was the biggest booster for me. And mental awareness, coming back to the point, is very, very important. You see people committing suicide, you have to be aware, and you have to, people who love you, you have to keep them the closest, because they are the ones who will help you come out of your depression.
But bygones are bygones. Here you are, absolutely positive, and welcome to the world of abundance. And once again, wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Sachin.
Moving on to Anurita. Anurita, the question is, what was your experience like shooting in Ayodhya for the series?
Hi everyone. So nice to see everyone together today. Hi, sir. So Ayodhya, it was, it's a very simple place. Whatever we have heard about it, in the history and in so many years. When we were there, people are actually very, very simple. They live in a lot of harmony with each other, and they want a lot of progress, because while going on the shoot, we had cabs and the drivers were local. So I would have conversations with them asking, what is it that you guys want? And they would end up saying that we want to grow and we want progress. We want this place to have more tourism so that we can earn our living and have a better living here, which is not there right now. So, I mean, hats off to Prakash Jha sir for, choosing Ayodhya, because when a shooting happens, it's not only the cast and the crew who go and just do their work. There's a lot of, money that's being raised for locals also. A lot of people start working, a lot of jobs are being given out. So it's a fantastic thing. I loved it because it was cold and I love winters. And we had all these people there shooting, coming and going, all the fantastic actors. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, the shooting was great. Yeah. So that's, I think I answered.
Thank you, Amrita, and I like your perspective about inclusivity, where it generates finances for the locals. Thank you so much. Next question is for Parinita Seth, and we read a story which said that you found it difficult to abuse on screen for this character. How difficult was it to portray a grey shade in this series?
First of all, hello everyone. And yes, it was difficult because I'm playing negative for the first time. So I had a little hitch to speak in a language like that, but I was, because my director, sir, was so sure about me, so it was a big support, and I loved it. I just loved working with this.
We look forward to it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the next question is for Rajiv Siddhartha. Well, Rajiv, many actors refuse to be a part of a larger cast because they believe the impact may get lost. What made you say yes to this series?
As Sachin said, Prakash Jha sir, Prakash Jha sir, Prakash Jha sir. And it was, I mean, working with a legend like him, you realize why some people have such longevity in their careers. And how did, they consistently produce great work throughout. Because I remember the direction he used to give us, the energy with which the instruction would come. If one is just open and listening to his, to the instruction he's giving you, you realize very organically you do this scene as he wanted and as it should have been. So, yeah, I mean, Prakash sir, it was fantastic to work with such great co-actors. And never once did I think, and I don't think any of the actors on this show ever thought कि, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, तो हमारा काम like छुप जाएगा. ऐसे, I mean, I don't think that thought goes in somebody's head when you're part of such a great ensemble and such a great story. So, thank you.
Rajiv, all the best. And personally, मैंने आपको कई series में देखा है, so I would compliment you, and you definitely have made an impact. And wish you all the best for this one.
Thank you so much, Sachin. Thank you.
And well, due to time constraint, I think we have covered up most of the areas, but there's one last question. We have time for that one last question, which is for Prakash ji. It's from Shilajit Mitra from New Indian Express, and it says, religious blind faith is exploited as much as by politicians, as much as by babas and gurus. What are your thoughts on superstition and communalism being key to Indian politics? Prakash ji?
God save us from all these ills of the society, whether it is superstition or communalism. We all know that these are, the worst things that happen to a society. I keep on talking about, the simple fact that we must love each other. We must have, compassion for each other. We must have feelings for each other. It is not a very difficult thing to do that, and दो चार जिंदगी यार हंसते खेलते निकल जाए बढ़िया, और क्या है, खामखा का हम लोग लगे रहते हैं इन चीजों में. कोई कहीं भड़काता है, कोई कहीं भड़काता है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। और समझ जाए हम लोग कि जितने जीव जंतु इस दुनिया में, इस धरती पर हैं, वो धरती के बाहर भी हैं, वो सब एक ही हैं, वो सब साथ रह सकते हैं, चल सकते हैं, सोच सकते हैं। तो all I can say that, let's begin to live, let's begin to breathe, let's begin to love each other. That's it.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, एंड हर एक लफ्ज में we can feel compassion, so thank you so much. That's a great note to end the press conference, that yes, keep that compassion alive. And with that, to the entire cast, entire crew, all the individuals behind MX original series Ashram, a big shout out and wishing you all the best. फिर से एक बार याद दिलाना चाहूंगा कि it's releasing day after tomorrow, that's on 28th of August on MX Player, that is MX original series Ashram. A big thank you to the cast and Mr. Gautam Talwar, Prakash Jaji. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you.
And
thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.